Yes, the white shirt right there. Sorry. There's. Okay. I'm sorry I didn't take your question, but I'm asking this question right here in the white T-shirt. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you know what? Hang on. I hate as a teacher to reward bad behavior, but I will respond to your question, miss, if you want to listen to me. Miss, excuse me, I will respond to your question. I believe it was about Omar Khadr. Sorry, if you will not... Are you done? Thank you. Okay. And we'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. The anger that some people feel, and that a lot of people feel, about the payment the government made to Omar Khadr is real. And quite frankly, this might surprise you, but I share that anger and frustration.
This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth. Today is Wednesday, January the 10th, 2018. And in case you didn't know, our Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, just so happens to be on a bit of a tear right now, going around to town hall meetings, taking questions from the audience. And wouldn't you know it, our good friend Lee Stewie just confronted him today with some awesome points that she brought up in this town hall meeting. So joining us on the line today is Lee Stewie. Lee, thank you so much for joining us today, man. I can't wait to get your thoughts on what you just did, what just happened. That's incredible. Before we get into it, let's just show the audience a little bit of what I just had the pleasure of watching live on Periscope no more than just an hour ago. Check it out.
Are you done?
I'm done.
Thank you. Okay. The anger that some people feel, and that a lot of people feel, about the payment the government made to Omar Khadr is real. And quite frankly, this might surprise you, but I share that anger and frustration.
All right, so he says that he feels your anger and he is angry too, and he goes on and on to basically not answer the question. But first of all, you brought up some excellent points there. I mean, you got into the $10 million payout, you got into the Aga Khan vacation, you got into, I think you brought up eugenics, you brought up the ethics commissioner. I mean, so many things. First of all, Lee, tell us, what made you want to get out of bed today and go confront the Prime Minister of Canada?
It's 2018. I'm sick of just sitting behind a computer screen. I think I've sat idle enough watching this Prime Minister, carry out actions that need to be held accountable for, whether or not what I did today changes things or wakes up people. Maybe they go home today and think about what I said or maybe look it up. I've done my job. Yeah.
Well, some people might say, why didn't you get on the mic and ask a question just like everybody else? But it's a lot, it's easier to say that at home, easier said than done. What was the scenario like in there when it came to the question and answer period?
So it was really bizarre because, when I was waiting in line to get into this town hall meeting, which basically all it took was sending an email and registering or RSVPing to this event. I did not go through one, screening of no pat down, no security check. It was a coat check where I got my ticket for my coat, and then I walked into this gymnasium filled with hundreds of people where, it was sectioned off into stands, and there was white chairs that were a bit closer to him. And to me, it seemed like all of the questions were staged. So he knew exactly how to address each question. And, there were, things from kids to, a transgender person, and, the question of marijuana came up. It just seemed very orchestrated. And by the time he got to my section and I knew he had taken a question from my section, I knew that was it. I knew that it was then or it was never. And I didn't come here and pay $20 for parking not to get my point across to Justin Trudeau. So.
Well, kudos to you for it, Lee, because I know exactly what it takes to do something like that. The courage, the nervousness that comes over you when you're about to speak in front of an entire audience and confront somebody like that. And you did it, and kudos to you for doing it. It takes a lot of courage to do such a thing. And I think you brought up some excellent points that were really important to bring up. And of all the things that you did bring up, he kind of narrowed in on one of them. Why do you think that is? Why do you think he chose to only specifically answer one aspect of your question?
Well, there were so many things that I missed, actually, that I wish I had said. It was drowned out by the boos of the people around me because, they're drone sheep and are paying attention. They're there to see a celebrity. They're not there to listen about politics or know anything about this country. He focused in on the Omar Khadr question, which he has been answering for months now, and he's got it down pat. He knows exactly how to spin it. He basically, from what I remember, it's all kind of a blur now, but from what I remember, he spun it around and said, we need to be angry, that a Canadian was jailed or, put in prison for that long.
Yeah, he tried to make it out like as if he feels your anger. He was like, you know what, people are angry. I feel that. I'm angry too.
Yeah, which is completely missing the point of the question of what I was saying. And he did pick that question. The other ones he was avoiding because, he's failed to commit to sitting down with the ethics committee in the House of Commons to talk about, the Aga Khan issue, where he was just found guilty of 4 ethics violations, right before Christmas, conveniently, where everyone was, not paying attention. And also meeting with Joshua Boyle, who is now facing, I think it's 12 or 15 charges of assault, who was previously married to Omar Khadr's sister. So they actually met in secret, and nobody knows, what they talked about. And the only reason why people know that this meeting took place was because Joshua Boyle actually tweeted it out on his Twitter. So there's very secretive things going on, and I believe that Canada deserves more transparency, and that's why I thought it was important to even though he didn't answer the questions, I want him to know that there are people who are awake to the know and know what's going on in this country.
Absolutely. You got it out there on the public record, all of these issues, and some of the other things that you touched on, which I think is really important to get it into the minds of the Canadian people, is the issue in regards to funding of the Clinton Foundation and the money that's been given over to the Clintons. What can you tell us about that? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you also mentioned something about eugenics as well.
I did, because, the Clinton Foundation is known to be one of the biggest money laundering foundations, as you will, or, a front, I believe. There's evidence to support that they they support eugenics, Planned Parenthood. Hillary Clinton has come out and said that she supports Margaret Sanger, which is insane. And so Trudeau donated, what was it, 20 million to the Clinton Foundation. Who knows why? They're under investigation right now, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, no, I know. I think all this is going to start to come to a light, and people are going to not only question, as they are right now with the Clintons, they're going to start looking at the Trudeau Foundation and the pay-to-play going on with Justin Trudeau, which is why it's important to bring these things up on the public record. This may lead to other people figuring out other things. Now, after you did this, I mean, the whole room has their attention and eyes on you. Obviously, police, security, probably then you had their attention pretty closely. What happened in the moments after the camera stopped rolling?
Absolutely nothing. It was exactly what you saw when the camera was rolling. The only Secret Service person that talked to me was to say, Trudeau has said he's going to answer your question. Now sit down. I've seen previously in the past when people have tried to confront Trudeau in town hall meetings like this, for instance, you, and I know there's been a few others, who have been tackled or, taken away or kicked out. They let me stay there. They let me, just basically stand there and finish streaming, and I left on my own free will. Not one police officer spoke to me. I wasn't followed, which I was sure to keep my camera rolling just in case, because I was by myself, just for security reasons. I knew maybe someone might follow me. But no, there was no interaction from police whatsoever. A few people came up to me afterwards and thanked me. A lot of people did boo me, as you can hear in the footage. But there were a select few who did thank me for doing what I did. And for those people, those are what I'm going to focus on, are the people who, were in agreement with me, not the people who were against me.
Awesome. Well, I hope the video goes viral, and I hope people share this video right here so they can see just what it is that you did. Maybe my only criticism would be that I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what would have been cool if we got it to catch on what our friend Josh Sigurdson did by calling him a scumbag. Imagine we could get Trudeau scumbag trending or something like that. Yes. That would have been fun. Yes. Yes. Maybe next time.
He's won. Did he get escorted out?
He did. He got escorted out for that one. And, my experiences with Justin have been similar. He often answers a question without answering the question. As you know, I've confronted him, asking him about Bilderberg, asking him about the Bank of Canada. I've gotten on him a number of times. What a lot of people don't know, too, is there's some times that we attempt these types of things and they just simply don't work out. You may not know that I actually shook hands with Hillary Clinton. I hate to say that, and I shudder when I think about it. But at the time, I was trying to confront her at a book signing in Toronto, and the Secret Service were all over me. They were eyeballing me. They came up to me when I was about 3 people behind, next in line, and they said, do not move, don't put your hands in your pockets when you approach her. They had me pegged. So when I was next in line, I knew if I take this camera out of my pocket, they're going to tackle me. And I didn't end up doing it. So, there's a lot of times where we try these things and people don't see that it didn't work out. But today, I would say it worked out pretty good for you. You gave them a pretty good earful. You gave the Canadian people a lot to think about. So I don't know, any final thoughts just as we wrap this up? I mean, you're probably kind of excited and almost like, not in shock, but kind of coming down from the hype of what you just did. I know how it goes. It's like it's all just a blur afterwards. But yeah, any final thoughts on what you just did? That takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of guts, and I'm really glad you did it.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is a blur. I don't know what just happened. It has to digest. I'm definitely going to rewatch the footage because I don't even really know what I said. I knew I had a few key points that I wanted to address, but it's surreal. So I hope people take away from this to start acting and this country's running out of time with this prime minister we have. And it's time that Canadians start speaking up, start voicing and using their freedom of speech before it's completely gone. I just encourage people to start asking questions and going out to town hall meetings or, any opportunity you can to spread awareness about what's going on in this country, because we have a lot of work to do, I feel like. But 2018, I'm very optimistic about. I think we have a chance to start acting and taking this country back into our own hands and make our prime minister start working for us again. Hopefully, it is what it is. I know you shouldn't, try to look to your government to fix all your problems, but I think definitely the Canadian people need to stop looking to somebody else to fix all the problems and like I said, take the country back into our own hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think what it's going to take is people to have the courage to do just that. Speak truth to power. Get on out there to these types of events when you have an opportunity and let them know the issues that you're having. There's not enough people doing this, and that's why I'm really excited that you did this today. Great job. So give people the links to your Twitter, where they can follow you on your YouTube channel so that they can see more from you when you do this again.
Okay, so the footage, if you want to see the original footage, I did go live on Twitter. So my Twitter is LEIGHSTEWY. You're always very good at putting the links into the description. And my YouTube channel, if you just put in Lee Stewie, all one word, into YouTube, my channel will come up.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to have all the links located in the description below. Lee, you have just raised the bar for yourself. You are on the level, girl. This is pretty awesome. So great.
You know what's funny though? You know what's funny? I'm just going to interrupt you for a minute. How you said raise the bar. In 2013, he actually tweeted out using the hashtag raise the bar as a concern for conservatives, as a concern to conservatives to obey ethics violations or ethics concerns, and that they need to be held accountable and to raise the bar. So that's funny that you just said that quote there.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we're going to turn that right back around on him. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So once again, man, thank you so much for talking to us. Excellent work today. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dan, so much.